Welcome to Freelance Sucks. Here we discuss the dark side of freelancing about which nobody usually talks out loud. In this show, we speak with experienced freelancers, and I'm sure listening to their stories helps you prepare for freelancers' challenges. My name is Yuri, I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Patrik Garten, an experienced freelance software engineer and certified AI consultant who empowers businesses to save time, reduce costs, and increase revenue, and prefers to be the disruptor, not disrupted. And welcome, Patrik.
Hello, thanks for the invitation and the chance that I'm here, can be here.
Welcome, welcome. The easiest question, the first question and the easiest one. For you as a freelancer, what is the most challenging part of being a freelancer?
I think handling topics and time management, I would say, and to shut down sometimes, to shut off everything and only be the private Patrik and so on.
Yeah, I feel like work-life balance, it's a huge topic. Time management, yeah. Like, how do you deal with this? How do you manage your time?
I'm still try to manage it, to be honest, because I'm the person who dancing on a lot of weddings, as you said. So I have a lot of ideas. I love, because I'm very passionate in my doing. I love this what I do. I'm even make it in my spare time and so on. So it's hard to manage the time there, but I try to effectively manage a bit of my time. And for this, it's very, very important to make priorities and even time blockings. Now I'm working completely with time blocks and even with tools like I'm working with a tool called Reclaim. It's completely take over for me the planning of certain tasks about in term of priority. Then they changing it and so on. If there is a call incoming with a higher priority, they change it again and plan my complete week in a certain way. So I loved it, using this tool because I didn't. I can't live out without it anymore. And yeah, it also gives me the opportunity to make certain calls, like coffee calls, like normal meeting calls, priority calls, and something like this. And I can all connect it to one calendar, even my private calendar. It checks did I have an appointment in my private time also, and so on. Maybe I have to go to the dentist. Then I also have a blocking into my calendar, and I have.
Sounds like a personal assistant.
Yeah, it's a bit of a little personal assistant. Yeah, if you say so.
And for example, if you have a task to finish and you have a deadline and you have all those calls coming in, like still, how do you focus? What is your approach to focus?
If a deadline comes very near, let's say the next 3 days, most of the time completely blocking me for this deadline, and go into and say no, I do not have time for this now. And that's a skill I think I have to even learned over the time, to say no. To say yeah, maybe there is there is a possibility going away from me because of this no. But as someone said once to me, if one door closing, another door openings on a other side. So yeah, but that's a very useful skill I learned over the time, to say no and really try to focus then if I see, okay, there's now a hard deadline. And maybe also, yeah, you have to go a bit over your time. You said not the only 8-hour work. It's maybe also that you have to work then 12 hours or something, or even more.
That's the beauty of freelancing. You can work however you want and as many time as you want, not just in a full-time job from 9 to 5.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so it also sounds like really philosophical approach that, when the one door closes, another door opens. Do you have the same approach for clients?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm more also in the direction I have to feel this project even. I want to do this project as well. I do not want to do projects because of the money or something like this. But at the end, the customer are have profit out of it because I really own my things that I'm doing. I'm really into it. I'm feeling it, and I'm seeing me as a part of it, and so on. I'm not the external who working still his code and get his money and go away afterwards. I have still connections to old customers. And we are very close together and we like to talk to each other and so on. But yeah, maybe it has to be ended because of money wise, or maybe the project is over or something like this. Or yeah, once I also have had that the project unfortunately has to be closed because higher decision of a company, the CEOs and so on said, we don't need this tool anymore or something like this. But I still in contact with companies like this even
Are
because
those,
I
yeah.
have drive.
Are those contents bringing you recurrent projects over time?
Not directly during the company, but of word of mouth, the
Yeah.
wise that they spoke about me with other companies or organizations or something like this, and they talking about me, and then they so not recurring jobs, new jobs most of the time.
What is the most time-consuming thing you must deal with as a freelancer?
Calls. No, the most time dealing task. Yeah, meetings, calls. It's the most thing. To maybe to try to bring up the people my way of handling certain things, because I'm not the fan to instantly go into a call. I want informations. It doesn't matter if it's a recruiter, is it a company who contacts me indirect or something like this. I'm not the cold call person, if you say so. And in fact, in 6 years freelancing career, I didn't make one cold call. Never did a cold call until now. But it works, still works. So I'm more the mailing person because I can work on the mail when I have time on it.
Yeah.
And I'm not an assistant or a secretary or something like this. I'm a skilled, experienced expert, and my work is to help the companies with certain problems or challenges. I call it. I like to call it more challenges, and how to handle these challenges. So yeah, that's the thing I'm experienced in, or not to cold calling or something like this. And that's the thing I have most of the time to try to get to the people that they say, yeah, bring me the informations I need. Yeah, I know you, especially if I talking with a recruiter. Yeah, I know you have even also very limited or information from the customer and from the end customer at the end. But yeah, bring it. Try to bring it up front. You have a positive outcome out of it. The customer has a positive outcome of it. The time is effectively used at the end of the time. That I can say, the project fits maybe not in my likings, or the projects fits and it is worth to go into this talk and so on.
Now, I can imagine at some point some kind of AI tool where clients just record in their video with a project description, and like it analyzes their attitudes, it analyzes their emotions, it analyzes all the needed tasks. And then an expert also records their answer, and then just AI tool match like client with a freelancer without any
Could
extra.
could be, because I'm a fan of this approach, because I, and especially the last months, I even hear more often that the clients are go back of the job offers or the project search because they placed it internally or they closed it completely and so on. And that's it's a rising number I hear currently. And in my approach, I have it also that certain companies are go back, to step back and say, okay, we don't need it anymore or something like this. But I haven't that much of a high number in comparison to other persons, because I force the client at the end to think again about the project, and is it really necessary?
Yeah, I feel like it's super important to explain to a client, like, do you really need to do this? Because sometimes, even, like from my perspective in a community building, sometimes people are like, oh, I need to build a community. And I'm like, do you really need to build a community? Let's talk about this. And
Yeah.
yeah, I totally get it. So what is the most nerve-wracking thing you must deal with as a freelancer?
Uh, there are many things, to be honest. Every organizational part things are very annoying. If you do not have any assistance or something like this. In the past, before I know Reclaim, for example, I hated to make to find certain slots to get a meeting or something like this, and I'm so happy it reduces me really. I think it took away about 3 hours at least a week. So yeah, so it's a huge number at the end, 2 3 hours a week, and then count it up.
Yeah, I feel like it sounds like a great tool. Once again, you're reminding me about this already for the second time, and I feel like I also need to try it, and maybe even like, hey, by the way, Patrick recommended you, so do you have any discounts for other freelancers so they can also use it? So maybe we
Yeah,
can do some kind of
so if
partnership
you
out of it.
so, so if you need certain tool, because I'm the type of person, I also want to try to improve myself, not only self-improving and kind of mentally things, also in technical way how I can improve, and I try out a lot and experiment and so, because I'm very I'm a trend of experimenting and doing certain new things and so on. Very open-minded to say. So yeah, I nearly tested every tool out there field.
Great. Yes, I already told you that, but I will repeat. Now I know who to go and ask about any tool that out there, because you definitely tried it, and you definitely can give some advice on how to use it best. Okay, so as a freelancer, do you ever feel professional loneliness?
Sometimes, yeah, especially as at the start, because I'm first of all, I was very experienced as a software engineer, and as I do not have that network out there, even especially as a very experimenting person, I try to go upfront and try to use new technology, new approaches. Not, I hate to be very conservative to say, and not everyone is that open-minded. Even in the IT part, you thought about maybe they're all very open-minded, but yeah, sometimes there are just some coders out there that like to do it how everyone do it. And so yeah, and especially the last years up front of OpenAI and so on, my network wasn't that big out of AI specialists, and I switched from time to time to more and more deeper into the AI solutions and so on, and more be the AI expert. But on the start, it was very lonely where I can find, because especially AI, if you're not have your master of science in it and have certain topics written about AI, you weren't able to get into certain communities in there. It's more loosen now, and you have more chances to get into the. But yeah, sometimes you're still a bit lonely.
Yeah. But I feel like those communities are really helping when you are into them, then you see like-minded people, and it sounds like you're already there.
Yeah.
Got it. So if your friend wanted to become a freelancer, what are top 3 things you'd advise them to consider before doing it?
First of all, try normally job. Try to see if it doesn't fit for you. Then go for the freelancing. Second, be aware of that you have a high responsibility for yourself and for others, even if you not have any employees or something like this. You're still yeah in charge of others. So and yeah, that you have, and the third thing is you have to be aware of that you have to change a lot of free time for the yeah, job time, so to say. That's that's the 3 points I would suggest and say, okay, try this first and be aware of this 2 points.
And I was just today talking to my wife, and we were talking about the difference between like being in the company and like being a freelancer. And one thing that also came out in addition to your 3 points, that as a freelancer, nobody really tells you what to do. So you have a task, and then like, how the hell should I do this? Like, it's up to you. You have to think about how to do this. Sometimes it's like, oh shit, how do I do this? But then like, okay, I'm a freelancer, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, I like talking to you so much. Still, I wish to have the sky as the limit, but time is the limit. So, the final question: if you were starting freelancing today, what is one thing you would have done differently?
I would take a coach immediately because taking a coach or someone I can learn from, or even someone who helping me to build a community or get into communities and so on, are a huge difference. And I thought on my start, I have to do everything by myself, and it isn't allowed to ask for help or or give certain things out. So immediately taking a coach and do it
I
this.
totally hear you. I'm still fighting with it, and I know so many people who are still fighting. Like nobody will do better than you, but then you still don't have to be on your own. You
Be
always
happy
go to
if
people.
there is someone out there and you find the person who does it better than you, because that's the skill you should have as an entrepreneur. I would say I see me more as an entrepreneur than a freelancer, to be honest. That's the skill of a good employer, to say, to find people that are better than you, and if you're accepting that there are people out there are better than you.
Totally, totally. Patrick, thank you so much for sharing your experience and for having such an open conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button on 5 stars and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.